and welcome from the house of Jin Shin. Today we're going to talk about deep cleaning the lungs, since we hear so much going on of all this lung stuff coming up, and that is one of the major issues when people get to virus. So keeping our lungs clear, as well as if we were to get it, to know how you can help yourself or a loved one that's living with you in your house. Since here at the House of Jin Shin, we are really supporting social distancing and quarantining yourself. So let's get into the breath. Let's take 2 deep breaths just to get into it. Because when we get nervous, we start to breathe from up here. So we want to bring the breath back down into the belly. So I'm going to do a flow with you today that was given to Mary Burmeister, who brought Jin Shin Jutsu to the United States, by Jir Marai for specific lung projects. So this flow is really on the body level, and so very effective once you have something going on with your lungs. And if you have the book, I am switching my hands around because it's more comfortable for me, but you can do it as it is in the book. Remember that the energy will find its way, so even if you switch your hands. So place your right hand on the left 15, the groin area, and place your left hand on the lower back, SEL2, safety energy location 2. So this hold will open up the whole left side. It allows for the energy down the front from the 15 to the energy up the back with the 2. We put Rex on the floor here. Okay, Rex, there. So take a nice deep breath here and wait for the pulsation to come to your fingertips. Remember, when you feel the pulsation, that's the energy spiraling all the way to core and back to surface. And everybody just join in practicing this flow. Put your coffees down and place your hands on your body. Because once you practice Jin Shin, it will always work. And so just looking at the video is not good enough. Use your hands, use your jumper cables. So always the first step of the flow is most important because it gets the whole flow going. So that's why we're staying there for a few minutes. Nice inhale and exhale. Feel yourself becoming the breath. We're not doing the breath, we're trying the breath, we're just simply being the breath. Now take your left hand and place it on the cheekbone, SEL21, which helps to release mental bondages and stress. It's where the stomach flow begins and the large intestine flow ends. It's important that the large intestine energy is open because the large intestine is the descending part of the second depth, and the ascending part is lung. So lung and large intestine are related. The lung energy has to be up to speed. Feel pulsation in these 2 areas, and then move your left hand to the collarbone. So if you have lung congestion, you will find some tightness in there, and you can go right above it to check. SEL2 is really right underneath the clavicle, the collarbone here. Now, if you do this flow closer to the spine, you're helping the kidney energy, and if you move it out more lateral, you're helping the bladder energy. So see for you where the tightness is, if it's more closer to the spine or if it's more lateral. For me, right now, here feels good. And it may change day to day as well. So now you will start to move your left hand through each of the ribs, moving down. So going to the next rib, right in between the ribs here. So there are several ways you can do this. You can use your thumb moving down. I like to use my fingers. It's easiest for me to feel the pulsation coming up. Or another way you can do it is place each of your fingers between the ribs. But I think since we all have time these days, it's nice to take 20 minutes to do this flow and just go rib by rib. Moving down. If we're going a little bit faster now, and then you can do the flow again tomorrow or later today, or when you feel your lungs need some assistance. So moving down each of the ribs. It's in between the ribs. And see if you can feel some congestion in there. You want to stay on that congestion and wait till that congestion opens up and actually disappears. And that's when the lungs will have more freedom to inhale and exhale. Again, moving down. This may be tender because for women there's breast tissue there, so you don't want to go on the breast tissue. Move closer to the spine here. And then moving down. So you can take a minute or two per spot as you're moving through the ribs. And then going to SEL 14, helping to harmonize our human beingness, the waistline. And so if you have any fear or panic, this should be very settling, this hold right here. SEL 14. And then you want to move the energy down into SEL 1. So here you bring, if the energy is stuck above the waist, by holding the 1, you will give it an escape route to move below the waist. Because Jin Shin is all about, of course, clearing between heaven and earth. And if there's a project stuck above the waist, in case of the lungs, then we want to move it down below the waist. You want to give it an escape route. So holding SEL 1. SEL 1 also helps the lungs and breathing, helps digestion, and SEL 1 is the prime mover, so it brings movement into every aspect of our lives, be it emotional or physical or spiritual, which today we really do need. We need to really feel a part of the larger connection to universal energy. It's so important to harmonize fear, and fear is actually the emotion that burdens the lung. So by unburdening fear, we're supporting the lung energy. Good, so when you feel pulsation in both areas, move your left hand to SEL 23, which is the middle of the back. Safety energy location 23. The meaning is fearlessness, and fear is the one that burdens the lungs. Even though lung energy is related to sadness and grief, in Eastern philosophies everything is on a circle, and so fear is the main cause for lung projects. And then we go to SEL 3. SEL 3 is the tip of the shoulder blade, harmonizing the immune system, helping the exhale and the inhale. 3 is key for the lung. For any kind of lung project, you can hold SEL 3. Take a nice deep breath and feel the pulsation. So as we're all doing this at the same time, of course, this goes beyond our individual body and connecting to a larger source and connecting to each other, harmonizing the individual body. And then the last step is moving to SEL 4, which is the bridge. It connects spirit to matter and matter back to spirit, consciousness to unconsciousness, and connecting us from heaven to earth and spirit to mind to our bodies. Now we're going to end the session by holding both of our 4s clearing the energy into the head. And the SEL4s also help to clear again the chest line. Chest line helping the lungs. Very nice. So this allows for the inhale up the back. And now take your hands to your big toes, allowing from the exhale to come in. The tip of the toes helps to connect the exhale and the inhale. So this is our practice for today. Start this flow, because if there's any issues that are coming up with lungs, this is a very, very key flow to helping lung issues, as well as clearing the lungs if there is any congestion in there. So please share this video also with your loved ones and friends. You can share it from your Facebook page. This is a key flow to remember if there is any issues in your family or with yourselves during this coronavirus era. And we also put the videos on YouTube for people who don't have Facebook, so you can go to our Jin Shin Institute YouTube section. And thank you so much, all of you, for joining me today, and we will see you tomorrow with another practice.